Hey, basketball fans, welcome back to Tips and Streams, your go-to spot for the hottest NBA regular season predictions. I'm Kokan, and I'm here to break down today's matchups and give you the edge you need to make the best bets. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. Your support means the world to us. Remember, our channel has no sponsors and relies solely on the love and support of viewers like you. Even a small donation by pressing the thanks button under the video helps us keep bringing you top-notch content every day. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and fellow basketball enthusiasts. And we love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let us know what you want to see in our forecasts. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you the content you crave. Let's jump right into today's NBA predictions. We've got some exciting games lined up, so stay tuned and let's get that winning streak going. Today we have predictions for 4 NBA games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the New York Knicks and Brooklyn Nets. The Knicks are rolling into Brooklyn to take on the Nets, and this one feels like it could be another chapter in their dominance of this matchup. The Knicks are sitting comfortably in third place in the East with a strong 28-16 record, but let's be real, January hasn't exactly been their best stretch. They've been frustratingly inconsistent, alternating wins and losses like clockwork. Just last night, they managed to edge out the Hawks 119-110, which, while a solid win, showed some cracks that Brooklyn might try to exploit. Offensively, though, the Knicks are no joke. They're cooking at an elite level, ranking second in the league in offensive rating and putting up 120.4 points per 100 possessions. Jalen Brunson has been a steady hand steering this offense, averaging 26.2 points a night while also dishing out 7.4 assists. The dude's been clutch when it matters most, and you can tell he's the heartbeat of this team. Then there's Karl Anthony Towns, who's been a beast since landing in New York. He's putting up 25.1 points and pulling down 13.8 boards a game, making him a double-double machine and one of the league's top rebounders. Even on the second night of a back-to-back, you've got to believe these two will find ways to make an impact. On the other side, the Nets have had a rough go of it this season. They're buried in 12th place in the East with a 14-29 record and are fresh off a brutal 127-101 loss to OKC. Brooklyn started the year looking like they might sneak into the play-in conversation, but the wheels have completely come off. Their front office hit the reset button, moving key pieces like Dennis Schroeder and Dorian Finney-Smith, leaving them in rebuild mode. Even with D'Angelo Russell back in the lineup and Cam Thomas flirting with a return, it's hard to see this team making much noise. Their offense is sputtering at 110.3 points per 100 possessions, and their defense is just as shaky, allowing 118 points per 100 possessions. This game feels like a perfect storm for the Knicks to exploit. Brooklyn's biggest weakness is on the boards. They're one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. Meanwhile, New York thrives in that area, ranking 6th in rebound percentage. You've got to think Towns, Josh Hart, and the rest of the Knicks front court will feast on second-chance opportunities. Even if Towns is on limited minutes because of the back-to-back, Brunson should have a field day against Brooklyn's porous perimeter defense. Add in Mikal Bridges, who'll get plenty of clean looks on the wing, and it's hard to see the Nets slowing this offense down. Brooklyn's only real shot is to tighten up their defensive rebounding and hope their offense clicks with the guys they have healthy. But let's be honest, they're just not built to handle a team like the Knicks right now. The Nets have been a disaster as double-digit underdogs, covering just once in their last 7 tries. Meanwhile, the Knicks have been solid in these spots, covering 7 of their last 10 games as big favorites. This one feels like it's all New York. The Knicks have owned this matchup recently, winning 8 straight against the Nets, and there's no reason to think that streak ends tonight. Sure, it's tough playing the second night of a back-to-back, but the Knicks have more than enough firepower to pull this one out. I'm riding with the Knicks to not only win, but cover the 10-point spread. Brooklyn just doesn't have the horses to keep up right now.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The second prediction for today is for a game between the Orlando Magic and Toronto Raptors. The Orlando Magic and Toronto Raptors are gearing up for a showdown, and I can't help but feel like this game carries some extra intrigue. The Magic have hit a rough patch lately. They've dropped 5 of their last 6 games, including a tough 113-100 loss to the Denver Nuggets. What's frustrating is that they looked solid in the first half of that game, but the third quarter was an absolute disaster. They got outscored 39-25, and that was the ballgame. Their three-point shooting has been a glaring issue all season, just 12, for 41 from deep against Denver. You can't expect to win games in this league with numbers like that, especially against a championship-caliber team like the Nuggets. Injuries haven't done them any favors either. Franz Wagner is still out, and Mo Wagner won't be back this season. That's a big hit for a team that already leans heavily on Paolo Banchero to shoulder the offensive load. The bright side? Banchero is back, and there's hope that Jalen Suggs could return soon, which would give the backcourt a much-needed boost. The Magic have struggled to stay consistent, but this feels like a chance to bounce back. They've had a brutal schedule recently, facing the Bucks, Celtics, and Nuggets in a tough stretch. Now, they get a much more manageable matchup against Toronto. Speaking of the Raptors, they're in a rebuild mode of their own and haven't exactly been lighting it up this season. They've only won 10 games so far and just got smoked by the Bucks, 130-112. Scotty Barnes is the centerpiece of their plans, but there's still some doubt about whether he's ready to carry a team. The thing with Toronto is they've had moments where they look like they're figuring it out. Big wins over the Warriors and Celtics come to mind, but those flashes have been few and far between. Defensive breakdowns and turnovers have been killing them, and they're giving up way too many fouls. Against a team like Orlando that's solid at the free throw line, those fouls could be costly. These two squads already met earlier this month, and the Magic walked away with a 9-point win. Orlando's defense played a big role in that game, shutting down Toronto's offensive rhythm and making the most of their opportunities. That's going to be the blueprint again. If Orlando can lock in defensively, limit Toronto's second chances, and take advantage of the Raptors' sloppy ball handling, they should have the upper hand. I think the Magic can pull this one out. Sure, they've been in a slump, but the competition they've faced recently has been no joke. This is a chance for them to get right, especially if they lean on their defense and slow the pace. Toronto's weaknesses, turnovers, fouling, and lack of offensive punch play right into Orlando's hands. I don't see this being a high-scoring game either. The Magic have been solid at dictating tempo and forcing teams into tough looks, and that should keep the total under 217.5. If Banchero and the rest of the squad can step up and execute, this feels like a great spot for Orlando to get back on track. Before we move on, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing might seem like a small action, but it actually makes a big impact for us. Plus, it's completely free for you. Have you clicked that subscribe button? Awesome, thank you so much for your support. Now let's dive back into the video. The third prediction for today is for a game between the Philadelphia 76ers and Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets and Philadelphia 76ers are set to square off in what looks like a one-sided matchup on paper, but you know basketball can be full of surprises. Denver is riding high this season, sitting at 26-16, and they're coming off a strong win over Orlando. Nikola Jokic is playing out of his mind, another triple-double in his last game, making it his third straight and fourth in 5 outings. This guy isn't just an MVP candidate, he's a walking cheat code. Whether it's scoring, rebounding, or dishing out dimes, he does it all. Denver's home court at Ball Arena? Forget about it. That's been a fortress, and the altitude doesn't hurt either. Opponents are gasping for air while the Nuggets are out here running teams off the floor. On the other side, we've got the 76ers, and man, it's been rough for them. Their 15-26 record tells the story, but it's the injuries that really paint the picture. Joel Embiid is still out with that knee issue, and it's not looking like he'll be back anytime soon. Andre Drummond, Kyle Lowry, and Gershon Yabusele are also questionable. It's basically a skeleton crew for Philly right now. Tyrese Maxey, though, that guy's a baller. He's been carrying this team, averaging over 26 points a game, and his handles, quickness, and ability to get buckets in tough spots have been a bright spot in an otherwise dark season. Let's be real, Philly's coming into this one with their backs against the wall. They've dropped 3 straight on the road, and now they've got to go up against one of the hottest teams in the league in Denver. Without Embiid, it's going to be all about perimeter shooting and scrappiness. Maxi's going to need to go nuclear, and the Sixers will have to find a way to hit threes at a high clip. If their defense can create turnovers and generate some fast break opportunities, maybe they can keep it close. That's a lot of ifs, though. For Denver, it's business as usual. Jokic is going to dominate, Aaron Gordon's been a reliable sidekick, and the supporting cast is stepping up. Their recent form is no fluke. This team is built to compete with the best, and games like this are where they flex their muscle. Philly just doesn't have the firepower or depth to match up right now. That being said, let's talk about the spread. 14 points is a big number, even for a team as good as Denver. Here's the kicker. Philly's actually covered the spread in 4 of their last 5 trips to Denver, and Embiid wasn't on the floor for any of those games. It's a weird stat, but it makes you think twice about writing the Sixers off completely. I have no doubt Denver's getting the win, but covering that spread, that feels a little generous. I'm putting my money on Philly to keep it closer than people expect. The Nuggets will walk away with the W, but the Sixers might just sneak in and cover that big number. Let's be real, Philly's coming into this one with their backs against the wall. They've dropped 3 straight on the road, and now they've got to go up against one of the hottest teams in the league in Denver. Without Embiid, it's going to be all about perimeter shooting and scrappiness. Maxi's going to need to go nuclear, and the Sixers will have to find a way to hit threes at a high clip. If their defense can create turnovers and generate some fast break opportunities, maybe they can keep it close. That's a lot of ifs, though. For Denver, it's business as usual. Jokic is going to dominate, Aaron Gordon's been a reliable sidekick, and the supporting cast is stepping up. Their recent form is no fluke. This team is built to compete with the best, and games like this are where they flex their muscle. Philly just doesn't have the firepower or depth to match up right now. That being said, let's talk about the spread. 14 points is a big number, even for a team as good as Denver. Here's the kicker. Philly's actually covered the spread in 4 of their last 5 trips to Denver, and Embiid wasn't on the floor for any of those games. It's a weird stat, but it makes you think twice about writing the Sixers off completely. I have no doubt Denver's getting the win, but covering that spread, that feels a little generous. I'm putting my money on Philly to keep it closer than people expect. The Nuggets will walk away with the W, but the Sixers might just sneak in and cover that big number. The 4th prediction for today is for a game between the Washington Wizards and Los Angeles Lakers. The Washington Wizards roll into Crypto.com Arena to face the Los Angeles Lakers, and let's be real, it's been a tough road for the squad. They're dragging a brutal 10-game losing streak behind them and sitting at a miserable 6-35 on the season. It's almost painful to watch. Meanwhile, the Lakers are cruising along at 22-18, not perfect, but holding their own in a competitive Western Conference. This matchup feels like a no-brainer for the Lakers, but hey, it's the NBA. Strange things happen. The Wizards have been struggling on this monster road trip. They did cover the spread against the Warriors, which was a bit of a surprise, but then got demolished by the Kings in a game that wasn't even close. They're 1-17 on the road this season, which is just hard to wrap your head around. That kind of record isn't just bad, it's historically bad. And don't even get me started on their defense. They're giving up 122.8 points per game, the worst in the league. Teams see the Wizards on the schedule, and it's like Christmas morning. Now, here's the thing about Washington. They've got some firepower, even if it hasn't translated into wins. Jordan Poole had that monster 38-point game against Golden State, and when he's in his bag, he can light it up. Plus, rookie Bub Carrington has been a spark. He's young, unpredictable, and plays with energy, which is sometimes all you need to steal a game. But let's face it, these flashes of brilliance are rare, and they'll need more than a couple of hot hands to even stay competitive against the Lakers. On the flip side, the Lakers are coming off a tough loss to the Clippers, and you know they're itching to bounce back. Anthony Davis has been a beast this season, doing it all with 25.6 points, 11.9 boards, and 2.2 blocks a night. But his status is up in the air with that calf soreness, and if he's out, that's a big hole to fill. LeBron, though, is still LeBron. The man is an ageless wonder, running the offense like a maestro with nearly 9 dimes per game. Whether AD suits up or not, you know LeBron's going to bring it. The Lakers should have the edge here, especially at home. They're good at controlling the pace, and with the Wizards' shaky defense, this game could get ugly fast. That said, Washington has been hitting their threes at a better clip lately, about 34.3% in their last 10 games, and if they get hot from deep, they might hang around longer than expected. The Lakers are also dealing with some missing pieces. Jalen Hood-Schifino, Christian Wood, and Jared Vanderbilt are out, so it's not all smooth sailing. History favors the Lakers in this one. They've won their last 4 home games against the Wizards by an average of 14 points. But here's the kicker. The Lakers haven't exactly been blowing teams out lately, and they barely squeaked by the Nets in their last home win. Betting on them to cover a big spread feels dicey. The Wizards don't win games, but they do occasionally keep things closer than you'd think. If Davis plays, I'd say the Lakers run away with it. If not, this could be more competitive than it looks on paper. Either way, I think the Lakers get the W, but I'm leaning toward the Wizards covering the spread. Call it a gut feeling. Sometimes bad teams find a way to make it interesting, and with the Lakers looking ahead to Boston in a few days, there's always the chance they let their guard down just enough. Let's see how it plays out.